Now let's start today's live session. Today we have two topics. One topic now is a lot of people ask me how I made the AI anime podcast. Another topic will now continue our ComfyUI workflow, because I think that's important now currently for web learning and web coding. Currently AI now can very easily write some code, for example, less than 200 lines. But if more than 200 lines, I can say now, most time maybe got a problem. How we can fix this problem? That's why I figured out we use the ComfyUI workflow to make AI just write each node. Then we use the workflow to connect all the nodes together to make a bigger project. So we make the project very simple, not just the normal traditional way. We use the UML now for the software design. So today we not use UML, we use now ComfyUI workflow to make the software more easy. Once we finish the project, anyone even don't have coding experience, even not a technical background, they can still use the ComfyUI workflow to use your project to do anything. I think that will be very, very fun and very interesting. So today we will continue the project. First, now let me first introduce how I made the AI anime podcast. A lot of people ask me now how I made it. What's the cost? I can tell you it's very easy. It's with zero cost, but only you know how to web coding, then you can do it. Or you need to pay the cost. Okay, let me show you. I guess a lot of people now have see this. I get a lot of feedback. Now for this podcast.
Huge, almost sci-fi ways. Flying
Oh, sorry.
cars.
I need to share my screen. Yeah.
Robots doing everything.
Right, the really big picture stuff.
Yeah. But sometimes the real changes, the ones that actually affect us day to day, are happening more quietly, like in the office.
The future of the actual workday. That's definitely something a lot of people are wondering about.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to dig into today. It's all about the future of work, maybe learning too. And it actually kicked off from something Frank shared on his YouTube Live recently.
Ah, okay. So thinking about how AI impacts, well, how we do our jobs. It's exciting, but...
Yeah. Actually, now it's very easy. Now, if you know how to web coding, if you know how to do the whole process, but it doesn't matter. In our course, we'll show you step by step later. We'll now make the node in ComfyUI to do the whole process. So today I'll tell you how to do it. If you know it, if you are now have some knowledge now for the video, for how to use AI for coding, now then you can understand how to do it. If you don't have experience, doesn't matter. You just follow our videos. I'll show you step by step how to build the software, how to build the ComfyUI node and the workflow. Later, you can do yourself. Okay, now I first show you the whole idea. So all the knowledge maybe you don't know before. So today you just use web learning. You just need to know the concept, know the knowledge. That's enough. You don't need to do it immediately. Now that's because that will take a long time. So once we finish all the course, you learn how to do it. So you use the knowledge. Okay. Now let me show you. The first step. Now you need to find some example. For example, now this one, I find now some similar now concept now with AI to do the podcast. So I send the image to ChatGPT 4. I'll show you. First, now you open the ChatGPT 4. Then you just drop the image. I use the same image. Then you ask AI, so please create an AI podcast anime video prompt, but in 3D Disney style. Because originally I found now the video, the image is not now 3D Disney style. So you need to ask now in 3D Disney style. Also, if you want other style, for example, background topic, you just tell AI, then AI can do for you. So now I just ask, please create an AI podcast anime video prompt, but in 3D Disney style. Let's try. Okay, now we get the prompt. You just copy the prompt. I can do not use ChatGPT Sora. Now cannot follow the instruction now very well. We use now the Google Veo 2. Okay, let me copy the prompt. Then we go to here. Because even you are free user, I think you can create 3 videos per day. Is enough. You create one podcast video. The video now is 8 seconds. I think it is very good. So you just paste the podcast here, the prompt here. Then it will now spend some time now to generate the video. You take a. So now let me explain how to do the next step. So once you get the video, you need to split the video to 2 videos. Now, because there's 2 hosts, most now lip sync software only support 1 people, not 2 people. So you can ask AI. We have talked about it now FFMPEG. You just ask AI how to use FFMPEG to split the video, the left and right side to 2 videos. Then AI will give you the script. You can ask AI to write 1 Python script. I'll just write 1 shell script. Then you get 2 videos. 1 video now that's the left side. Another one is the right side. So you got the video. So once you get a video, you need to have the audio. The audio now we use the Google Notebook LM. So you just give your idea. You ask Google Notebook LM to create the audio for you, because that's the 2-person dialogue podcast style. So once you have the audio, how can you do? It's very easy. Once you now have the audio file, you just drop the audio file to Google AI Studio. Do not use Gemini, because in the Gemini, okay, the video is ready. Now let's see. Yeah, I think the video is good now. But just one problem, you can see now the 2 persons, they raise the hand now very frequently. Because once we do the lip sync, that can happen now. For example, sometimes 1 person, they not talk anything. So if they not talk, they still now use a lot of hand gestures. That be very weird. So that's very easy. You just now give another problem. You say, please keep the hand no movement. Keep the hand still. Then the AI will now. You just try several times, then you can get 1 good video. You can get a good video, just same as this. So once you get the audio, now you cannot use Gemini the UI, because that's not support audio. You need to go to the Google AI Studio. But that's for non-technical person. If you know coding, you just ask AI. I have 1 audio file. It's 2 persons, 1 man and 1 female. How I can split the audio now to 2 files? Actually, we not split the file. Now we need once we get the audio file, we need to have 2 audio files. So the first file, for example, we just have the latest audio. Then for the man, we need to keep it silent. For another video, we need the same. Now, one time we can only hear 1 person speaking. Another one is silent. but this length is the same as the whole your podcast. So you can just ask AI, how you can make one video, 2%. You just make one silent, another not silent. So if you don't know how to use AI, you just ask Google AI Studio. You put the audio file to here. Then you ask Google AI Studio to check the voice. Then give you time steps. For each one is the lady one or the female and the male. Now each time steps. Once you get the time steps, you can still one way you just make by hand. You just silent the audio. Another one you can still use the FFMPEG. You just ask AI, I have one video file. I have another JSON file to show each host the time step. How I can silent one host audio. So AI will give you a script, use FFMPEG, then to silent one host and make another leave another host audio. So once you get the two video, the left side and the right side, and two audio. Now one is for the lady, another one is for the man. So you need to use one lip sync software, or you can find some online service. I'll tell you one very good. You can use this one. Let's think. There's this one. Actually, you can use this one. It's not very hard. They have steps. You just follow steps. You install the software to any GPU machine. Or Google. I think Google Code Lab. You can use it. Use it. Because that's used very less memory. You can see that most GPU. If you have one GPU, you can use it. So you just sync the audio and the video. Now make the lip sync with the audio to get one video. That make the lip sync with the audio. So you need to do the both video. So after that you get two video. Now with the long video, now with the lip sync. Now you still need to ask AI how you can use FFmpeg to merge the two video to one video, to left side and right side. So that will be very easy. Actually, that's very easy. Now, then you merge the two video to one video. So you get the normal video like me. After that, you need to use that video to add our original voice, the podcast voice, to the video. You just ask AI how you can merge one audio and one video together as one whole video. It's very easy. Then you get the video as this. So the whole step actually that's very simple. The steps. But there's a lot of concepts, a lot of technology used. If you do yourself, if you don't know, don't have technical background, or even you don't have a lot of knowledge for video, I think it's hard. But doesn't matter. In our course, in our level video, I'll show you step by step how to do it. So you just watch our video, then you can do. I think that's very easy after you learn the course. Okay, that's all I wanted to explain today for how you do the anime podcast. Okay, now let's back to our today's topic. Okay, I'll show you now some concepts. Now, because I said currently we use web coding for AI. If to do a bigger project, actually it's very hard. But we make a small project. We use now ComfyUI. So each node, actually now that's one piece of code. Now that's very simple. So we just ask AI to write the code for us. We get all the node. Then we connect each node together, make it one whole software. So before this, because we ask AI to write the code, we will not every time we will not now go to the AI to ask, can you give me write some code? Now we'll, because that will be take a long time. How can we do? Okay, we'll do as this. First, we'll ask AI to create the first node. We use that node to create the code for us. So because we ask AI now to do some coding, actually we now just now chat with AI to ask you give me now some code. We'll use now the OpenAI Chat API. So the first step now we need to create the OpenAI Chat API node. Then we give now the system prompt. Then we give the user prompt. We say, okay, please write one something in ComfyUI node. Now, then AI will write the code for us. We can save the file as one Python file. Then we'll get one node. So that's the whole concept. In the beginning, we first build the first node. Use AI to let that node can create other nodes. So the whole concept will be very simple. Even you don't need to know how to do coding yourself. You just need to know how to use the node created by AI. Then you can build a whole project with ComfyUI. Okay. Now let's start. I'll show you. Okay. First, we still now use CodeSpace. Let me open the CodeSpace. I have already now created the project. If you not yet, you can now check our previous video. In that video, I show you the whole steps. I will not show today. Okay. Actually, now in ComfyUI, each node now that's one piece of code. That's they call now custom node. So we just need to put under this folder, then you get one node. Okay. Now we use AI to do it. Because we want to now ask AI to generate the code or generate the text. So we just now tell AI we need to do it. Because all the AI know now OpenAI, but we assume now AI don't know this, so we need to give some technology or some information to AI for AI to do it. So we can now copy the code. Because now here they provide three styles. Now one is JavaScript, another one is Python, another one is Claude. I can see now the code one that's the most just show the protocol. I think that's very important. Once we use one library now, it's very important we understand the protocol. Actually now, the JavaScript or Python, that's all just some library. They wrap the original HTTP protocol. So because all the libraries, they want to now cover all the functions. So this library can be very complex, can have bugs sometimes. Now sometimes now you use one library, you maybe get some trouble. But in this time now, if they have now Code API, just as this, you can test. Now you can test if the API is working. If the API is working, so the problem is in the library, in the package. That's the most case. Now I find the problem. So I think now the best way we ask AI to do coding, we use the original now the protocol. We use the code command. So we just now copy the code command. We will use now Claude to do it. Okay. So we just copy the content. Then we say, please create a ComfyUI custom node script. So I can drop in. So because we are now web learning, web coding, we don't have any coding knowledge. We just ask AI to create one ComfyUI custom node script, so we can drop in. We don't need the update. We don't need to change it. We don't do any changes. But we need to ask what you want. So here is the requirement. 1, 2 input. System message and user message. 2, user can update the model name by a text field. 3, 1 string output for the AI response. So we just now tell AI what we want. Now what's now the final view now for the ComfyUI node. Then we ask AI to do it. Okay, let's try. Okay. Let's see the instruction. How to install? You just now save this script now to ComfyUI now custom nodes folder. Then restart now the ComfyUI. Okay. We just created the file. Actually, now that's not the best way. The good way is best now we create now separate folder for your project. You not put the file under the custom nodes, but in the beginning we just web learning. We'll follow the instruction. In the next session, I'll tell you how to do it. Okay, we copy the code here. I think now in the last session I have explained now the structure. Okay, so we just have now quick check. Even you don't need to know the concept. You don't need to know the logic, but you need to understand now something. Okay. First, now we can see now that's one input. That's the input type. That's the system message. That's right. Another one now that's the user message. Another one is the model, the name, the API key. Okay, because they put now usually it's OpenAI, so we don't want to now show the API key. We don't want to show the API key now in the web browser. We'll ask now use one config file. Okay, so we'll ask AI to change it. Please, because most time now if we use the config file, we'll use now .event file. Okay, please use .event file to save the API key. Also, I want also for the input, I want to make it link only. I want now the input, the user message and the system message. I want now link to other node. Make it link only to link it to other node. Okay, let's ask AI to do it, to change it. That's now we call web learning, so web coding. So even we ask AI to do something, we still need some basic knowledge. We don't need to know all the technology, but we need to have some basic knowledge. Just as one technical team leader, or just as one manager, you don't need to know how exactly the code, how exactly write the code, but you need to know the whole structure. Now you need the instruction, your team member, give your instruction to a team member, AI to do it. Okay. So that's the new code. Okay. Let me check one by one. That's version 2. Okay, let me see. Okay, we just copy the code. We select all the code. Select all. Copy paste. Then we create now one .event file. Okay. Yeah, that's just one. Why we add a dot? The dot now just means the file now is hidden state, but in VS Code you cannot hide anything, so you see it. Okay. After that, we'll now we just copy that's the config. Okay. You just copy the paste. So once you get the OpenAI API key, you just put it here. Put it here. Okay. Now let's start. Let's start the ComfyUI project. Let's see. Okay. You just run command now. Web UI. Wait, sorry. We need to go to cd x ComfyUI web CPU. You must now use the web UI CPU command because the GitHub only supports GPU. Don't have GPU. Okay. Okay, now open the browser. Oh, I think that's the old one. We just delete because this is my old test. I just close. Okay. Then we create another one. We just check the node because the node should be here. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to check where the node. It's in utils, OpenAI, node, ut. No. Let's check. Okay, I think now we get some problem, but it doesn't matter. We'll ask AI. I think now AI missed something. We just tell now we cannot find the node and here. Please check if you have missing something. As I cannot expand the node and okay, let's see. Yeah, you can see that's web coding. Recording. Now AI always can make some mistake. It's a very simple mistake. So you need to have some basic knowledge. Then once you have a problem, you can ask AI to fix it. Okay. Okay, they changes the structure. I think that's very good. That's we want. That's we want. Okay. That's what we want. Okay, let's see. That's whole structure. Okay. We first created the food. Yeah, we'll just delete this one. Okay, we drop the file to here. Yes, we move to that folder. Okay, then we need to create another. That's very important. That's now we'll regard the folder as a package. Okay, we create another file. We just copy the content. Also, they want to now put it to the root directory. I think that's not one good idea now, because that's only for our project, but it doesn't matter. We'll leave it now for the next session. So we'll just leave it. Okay. Okay, we'll copy the content here. Okay, then we just update the file. That should have a new version. Oh, that's version 3. Okay, I'll just copy the version 3. Okay, we copy paste the whole file. Okay, we'll code the process. We'll Ctrl+C, code the process. Because this is asked now to install 2 packages. We need to install. Before we install package, we need to make sure now we're in the virtual environment. So that's the command. I'll tell you. Okay, yeah. So before now we run the install package, we need to make sure you install new package now in the virtual environment. Okay, we need to run this command. So once you see now this, then now it's in the virtual environment. Okay. Now we install the package. Okay, I'll finish. We run the command again. Okay, let me see. Okay, OpenAI. Now we can see OpenAI. So that's now we want. That's now OpenAI node. Now we can ask OpenAI to create a text, to create one story, to generate the code. So that's, you can see that's the system message. That's the user message. We need to find now one link to another node. That's ComfyUI already have, so you can use in here. In the utils primitive strings, we want multiple line. Okay. That we just link with the system message. So we can update the title called system. Okay, so you know it. Then we create another one for user. Then you just link. So you update the title. User. Okay. Now that's the model name. Now you can update the model. Because the latest one now that's this one. Now I think that's one very cheap, also very powerful. So we'll use this one. So we just need to update. We just update the model name. Okay. When I want to tell you one skill. For example, we copy the reference code to Claude to use this model. We ask, you can see in the beginning we ask use GPT 4.1, but in the code actually now they give GPT 4. So what's the problem? The problem now when they do the training, they use the old code, use the old model name. They just thinking you provide one wrong name. You know what I mean? So that's the trick. Now, sometimes if we provide some reference code, we need to tell AI, please check the reference code exactly. Follow the instruction. Do not update it. That's the latest code to make sure AI not update your code. I think that's very important. But it doesn't matter. Once we have the first node, we can write the prompt in the system prompt. So you don't need to write every time. Okay. Now we have a system message. We have the user message. Then we have the OpenAI model. We can get a response. But I can tell you now that's very tricky. Now that's very tricky. The ComfyUI don't have one node to save text. You can install some third-party library to do it. But today we just ask AI to do it. To create another node to save the contents. Okay. We'll ask AI. Please create another node to save the OpenAI response. Okay, let's see what's happening. Actually, now when we ask AI to do it, now we need to consider a lot of requirements. For example, we need to allow select the directory. We need to allow user to now give the name for the file name. Also, we need to have an option now if we want to now overwrite the file or if we want to create a new file. So that's all the knowledge we need to have. Now, even we ask AI to do now web coding. Because I ask AI to do web coding, AI just writes the code. A lot of things not related to the code. We need to have the knowledge. Now, just as now you need to know how to use the computer, then you can use software. It's the same thing. Now, in web learning and web coding, we still need to have some basic knowledge. Then we can now ask AI to do code. Okay. Now. That's another one. Ask now first update this file. Okay. Then we copy the file. Okay, replace the file. Then another one. Then we create another node. That's another node. Okay. Save load text node. Okay. Actually, we can now call any name. We can call any name. Oh, yes. Yeah, yes, he should be here. Okay. Okay. So now we can see now, even we use web coding, we still need to now have some basic knowledge. Now, for example, we need to know the file structure. We need to know the file, the folder name, the folder, how to create the file, how to create the directory, which file is for what. Now, so we need to have very basic knowledge. Then we can use AI for coding. All is impossible. That's why we said we need web learning. You don't need to learn all the details for how to code, but you need to learn the basic knowledge for how to code. Okay, now we have finished everything. Let me see if we missed something. Okay. Okay, we have done. We just have a quick check now, because the input. Oh, that's very good now, very good. So you can see, the input now is one text, is a text. Then file name. Even now we didn't ask. Now even we didn't ask, but they still give the file name, the extension name. They give more information than us. Is even add temp steps. Even what's the subfolder? The prefix and suffix. Oh, that's Claude AI. That's I think that's very good. Give a lot of options. Now, even you don't have code knowledge, they consider a lot of the requirements. That's why a lot of people say that's one very good AI for coding. Okay, let's see now if it is working or not. Okay. Okay, let's see. Now open. Okay, let's see if we can find. Oh, yeah, it's in here. You can see open a response, save text, load text. Oh my God! I think they. Oh, the Claude AI now is very good. We not tell to create now the load text node. Let's see. That's very good. Oh, that's load text now from file. Load text from file. We can use for later. Save file. Okay, that's very good. Why is load file? That's very important. Now, because later we want to now save the prompt. We want to save the prompt now in one file, not in the UI, because that's more easy for the maintenance. It's more easy for the maintenance. Okay, we can use we not use now. We just link the all together. Okay, response. Okay, now we have all the code. We have we just now check the source code. Okay. Even now we are using web learning. Still now we need to read the code. Not just pretending you are an expert. You understand the code. Now just as you pay some money to ask some people to work for you, they do some work. You need to have a check. Even you don't know now some technology, even don't know exactly, you need to check if you waste your money. Now, that's very important because actually the coding, that's very easy. The coding actually, that's just very simple English. Now, so even you never learn any coding knowledge, but you still now you can very easily understand the structure. So let's see now the save load text node. Okay. The save text. Oh, you can see there's another 2 class load text and a save text node. The input requirement, that's one string, the default location. Okay. Now let's do a test to see now if it is working. I think now we just say hello, because we must not have a user message. Now we leave this message to empty. Okay. Oh, where is the button? The control was in bottom. So if you now drag the screen, it's in the bottom. In here. That's one run button. You just click. Oh, there's no errors. Also, there's no. I didn't give the API key. Okay, let me see. I think there should be no. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you can see. Error message, incorrect API key provider. So we can ask AI now to give an alert. Now just write the contents now to the output. So we ask AI. Please give a friendly warning of error alert in the UI for any errors. Example, API key is missing. So we just ask AI, if any errors, you just give one alert, not selling the message, it's even not set to the output. So that's why I said now, even we use web learning, we still need to have some very basic knowledge. For example, when the error, now give one alert, not now write the error in the logs or write the errors in the output. Because we have one UI, If we don't have UI, of course, now we need to write the error now in the logs, or we need to make the app exit now or crash. because that's one error. Another thing I want to say now, when we use web coding now, it's best we create one JIT project. So any steps, now if we test some code is working, we need to commit now the code. Once we get a new code, because new code can get errors. But we'll do in the next session. We'll do the next session. Now tell you how to create one project first. Then you ask AI to add the code. Now piece by piece. Once you get some errors, then just roll back. Okay, it's still working. Okay, we got all the code. Okay, that's the OpenAI node. This is a little worry. We copy. The select all command, that's the command A. So I'll use command A. Okay, then we just remove, then we copy paste. Okay, that's this one. Save load text node. Copy. Because I use Mac, if you use Windows, I'll use Linux, you need to check. You just go to the menu. What's the shortcut? Now I use Mac, so just Command A, then remove, copy paste. They create a new node. Let me provide the I don't know how this works. Well, let's try. No, that's very interesting. I think there's some problem. Why they put that notes? Let me check. Let me ask to check, because they put now the save text node and load text node to the same file. Let me see. Oh, okay. I think this is when. Oh, that's not a final. That's not a final code. When they delete, that's not final code. I think. That's just thinking steps. Now, the Claude AI, they do some code. It's just thinking, but it also shows the template file, the temporary file. So that's not the final file. I just remove. Okay, I think now it should be okay. That's why I said now when we do web coding, we still now have some knowledge now to the structure. Okay. We just remove this one, delete this one, we open a new one. Let's see. Stats check. Okay. We'll leave now because we already 1 hour. We'll leave now all the content to the next session. To the next session. I guess that's not necessary. That's not necessary. Okay, in the next session, I'll tell you how to create one project first. Then we add the code piece by piece to make one big project. Every step, once we test the code, once we think it is okay, we need to commit our code. In case we get another error, now we can roll back. So see you next week. See you next time. I think the next time is this Friday. Okay. See you next time. Bye.